And here in the early going, some teams already fulfilling their potential while others struggling out of the gate. Shaq, how big a deal are these initial outcomes?
Ernie, let me tell you something. I hated losing, period. Didn't matter if it was early, late, whatever. I expected to win every time out.
Well, the reality is, you have 82 games. So if you get too high or too low in your little valleys or your peaks, you're going to be in big trouble. But every loss and every win does affect home court advantage if you're a veteran team trying to make the playoffs and trying to win it all. So you're thinking about every loss. If you lose in April, it hurts just as much when you lose in January.
And time now for tip-off. Let's send it to Kevin Harlan. He's got the call.
It's time for the NBA, live on 2K Sports. Along with Greg Anthony and Clark Kellogg, this is Kevin Harlan. For the Grizzlies, their last game, a win against the Lakers in Los Angeles. And they put it all together in that game. It added up to a phenomenal win.
I mean, no stress in that one. The game almost looked like a shoot-around for them. Amazing at how well they shot the basketball.
And even more impressive, Greg, considering it was on the road. I mean, it's rare that you see a team get that hot away from home.
And now the New York Knicks starters. They've got Porzingis all out there with Booker. Then there's Whiteside, and it's George in at the 3, the small forward. Now here's Whiteside. No luck. Good D by Gasol. Here's Allen, rejected by Wall. And a fast break now for the Knicks. And it's slammed in by Whiteside.
That's a quick bucket there. Solid in transition.
Well, you know, he loves the chance to get out and run, and we could see right there why he does.
Allen with it. Here's Green, outside Conley. Knocks it loose. And now the fast break. George with the ball.
And that's the classic 1-2 punch right there. I mean, nice steal. And then how about the elevation, Kevin, on the finish?
And Greg, nothing spurs some quick offense like a great play defensively.
That indicates the importance of great on-the-ball defense, as was displayed right there.
And that replay is sponsored by Kia, the Kia Slam Cam, giving us a great look at that one. Just around a minute and a half into the first quarter. To the paint. And 2 free throws coming up as he misses that one. Drawing the whistle and a lot of contact there.
Yeah, good job to take it right at them.
Yeah, really left him no choice there, Greg. I mean, he had to foul and keep him from converting the easy bucket.
And George drops them both.
We're seeing today what makes him one of the best free throw shooters among the league's big men. Beautiful stroke.
And so here's Memphis. 4-point game. Outside Conley. Gasol on the high post. And that one falls coming off Conley's feet. Gasol's got his first bucket of the night.
Defensively, that possession better not start a trend because they just handed him 2 points.
They set the pick. Whiteside, the pass to Porzingis. And he goes strong with the one-handed jam.
Elevates and powers in the one-handed.
Textbook.
Yeah, and I'm glad, guys, he doesn't go overboard on that one and get a little too fancy.
Now here's Conley. He's coming off a 16-point game against the Lakers in Los Angeles.
Yeah, but the hand in the face, it's critical that you contest his shots every time down the floor.
And Wall kicks to Whiteside. And here's Wall against New Orleans, who is really on his game. Shot clock at 6. Inside, tipped away. Gasol with the steal. Conley with it. He's picked up by Wall. Picked by Randolph. Conley dishes to Gasol. Back to Conley. Just 5 to shoot. But 3. No good. So New York will take it the other way. They defeated the Pelicans in their last game.
You know, they played well enough to win, but to be honest with you, I just felt like their opponent's defensive performance was shaky at best.
Yeah, I'd go along with that, Greg. I mean, the game wasn't handed to them, but they definitely didn't have to work as hard for it as they should have.
They get it back. And it's blocked by Whiteside. And they're able to recover. And the whistle blows. It's going to be on John Wall.
First team foul.
And we're just over 3.5 minutes into the first quarter. Here's Randolph.
In building this lead, they've done a terrific job finishing their defensive sequences with the backboard. That has been key.
Yeah, you're right, Greg. Not one second chance bucket for the opposition. They're boxing out on every shot.
Here's Porzingis, covered by Conley. Sinks it, and the shot from Porzingis.
Boy, I tell you what, nice little run here they're going on.
And getting to the 10 has been the key. They're getting point-blank looks time and time again. Yeah, just frustrated by their lack of production offensively, and I can't blame them. I mean, they're getting the looks, but the shots just aren't falling.
Yeah, and the slump that they're having shooting the ball can take its toll on you if you're not mentally strong. So I like this time out here to try to get those guys reset and refocused.
Marcus Thornton, who's checked in for the Grizzlies. Gasol with it. He's picked up by Whiteside. And he gets it to go. Green's got his first points in this one. The Knicks leading by 6. Now here's Booker. He had 10 points in the win against New Orleans. Conley against Wall. Shot clock at 6. And that's going to be a travel.
Now a chance to see the numbers for George. He's coming off an excellent season. 7th in three-point field goal percentage. And he ranked in the top 15 in points per game. One of the league's premier offensive threats.
And, you know, back to his tremendous efficiency from 3 last year, I tell you what, he's truly a dead-eye shooter when he gets a good look.
Right, he's checked in for Memphis. Lawson comes in for Michael Conley. Now here's Green. He's coming off a 10-point game against the Lakers. Marcus Thornton on the wing. Defended by Booker. Oh, drew the foul and almost hit the three-point bucket. And he'll go to the line to shoot 3.
Good shots, gentlemen. Yeah, good job trying to get a hand in the face, but you've got to be more careful.
Especially on the three-point attempt. I mean, you have to defend that shot without fouling. Now you give a guy 3 free throws.
Slim is checked in for Booker. The Knicks making a switch here. Cauley-Stein's checked in. And he nails the 3rd.
Probably as close to a sure thing as you can have at the free throw line.
Now George. He definitely had a good game in their win against the Pelicans. Wall passes to Porzingis. Back to Wall. And he was fouled in the act of shooting. Chance here now for a 3-point play.
Guys, that time you went for the fancy finish for us there, man. That was sweet.
The Grizzlies trail by 6. Here's Thornton. And the layup is good after a nice lead pass. Thornton's got 5 now.
Boy, that's a nice feed by Lawson.
All with it. He has 5. Cauley-Stein kicks to Wall. To the paint, down to 5 on the shot clock. Porzingis can't hit. And for Memphis, they're shooting 36% in this first quarter, trying to get their bearings. And Lawson with the drive. And Wright throws it down hard.
His eyes just simply light up when he gets that close to the bucket. You just know what he's going to do with the basketball.
Here's George, and he goes in for the dunk.
Flush that thing down, young fella.
That is a fierce two-hander.
Maximum force on that dunk.
The Grizzlies have gone 5 of 12 from the field since the opening tip. There's 1:38 left here in the first quarter. Dawson has the open look. Offline with his three. New York leading by 4. A moment to check in with Doris Burke. Doris?
Hey, Kevin, I had a chance to talk with head coach of the Grizzlies. We talked about the problems of facing a player who is athletically gifted like John Wall. He told me that staying in front of him with a solo defender is near impossible. So we'll try to lull him into traps and get him taking shots that he doesn't feel comfortable taking.
And thank you, Doris. Here's Lawson. After the basket by Willie Cauley-Stein. Timeout called, the Grizzlies.
Yeah, I think he just sees some things that can be improved and wants to get everybody back on the same page.
And usually that, to me, is a good use of the timeout. I mean, if there's something that he's noticed that can give his team a lift, I think he's got to try to take advantage of that.
Sean Livingston, he's checked in for Green. The Knicks also changing it up. Whiteside's checked in for Cauley-Stein, and it's Booker in for Slim. And out of bounds as the Knicks gain possession. And in front of you now is a list of the players with the highest shooting percentage last season. Second is Brandon Wright.
You know, nobody said this guy couldn't miss last season, and because he was such a good percentage shooter, one of the best in the league, his teammates always were looking for him.
And so here is New York, 6-point lead. And Wall kicks to George. 50 seconds left to play in the first quarter. Wall's shot is off.
Very dangerous to leave a guy like that open. Lucky break there for the D.
And the basket by Thornton.
Great job to hit his teammate on that move, Kevin.
The Knicks leading by 4. Outside, George to the left side wing. Booker, and it's Wright sending it back. And the ball goes out of bounds. Last touch by Wright. And it's the Knicks with the ball. Passes it to Porzingis. Right side up top, defended by Gasol. It's Wall with the drop.
And, folks, he does more than just put 2 points onto their lead. He does it with a little bit of flair.
He sure does. You're right. It's a dazzling move to the bucket for him.
I'll tell you what, he may not be the biggest man in the league, guys, but he more than makes up for that lack of size with amazing aerial skills.
Wright sets a screen. With 2 seconds left. That one wide left. And so the first quarter is in the books. Knicks lead by 6. And the second quarter will get underway just after this short break. And the Grizzlies, a team that's dealt with their share of tough playoff losses. But, you know, you talk to point guard. One big reason why not them is what happened to Conley. Greg losing him in the playoffs last year was the biggest adversity they went through. Can you make a case that it just made them tougher, or did it really take something out of them?
You know, Kevin, it's really hard to say. A tough break, obviously, losing Mike, and I mean that literally as well. But their problems did set them back, and maybe they can be just as good as anybody else, but until they are, they're going to have some issues.
Now the second quarter getting ready to start up. And a moment to look at the scoring approach in terms of where the points are coming from for the Knicks.
They pounded the ball inside in the first half, forcing the D to collapse, and that frees up the shooters going forward.
You know, we've seen them bearing their fair share of mid-range jumpers tonight, too. I mean, that's a good start for them.
Setting the floor for the Knicks. Booker out there with Wall. Then there's Slim. Then there's Cauley-Stein. And it's Porzingis in at the 4. The pass to Wall. Livingston gets to Gasol. And stolen by Cauley-Stein. Stolen by Michael Conley.